Oh my god, it's that bass. Fantasy Report! Beat Pete Edition.
Killer, baby. Kanye, this that 1970s heroin flow, huh?
Yeah, I hear people talking about who high, who not. Man, they don't know who's gonna kill the game this year. Killer, yay,
Ayo,
come on.
street mergers, I legislated the nerve. I never hated on murders, premeditated, absurd. I hesitated, observed.
Yo, what's good, everyone? It's you, Nerede Gambas. It's the motherfucking Base Fantasy Report, Week 7. And let's get right into the matches of Week 7. Let's begin with my match versus Diplomats versus Anthony Soriano, my best friend. It was a turd bowl. It was a complete shit show. But I came out with the victory. My second win. Thank God, after losing 5 in a row, let me just tell you, it is so satisfying to finally fucking win. And I will say this, please do not prematurely celebrate. Please do not send out group texts with Dave Chappelle dressed as Prince with the text game blouses when the dude still has another player to play. You see, what Anthony didn't realize, he got a bit overzealous. He didn't realize that I still have Brandon Jacobs in for the Monday night game against the Vikings. Unfortunately, the dude got injured and I had to put in Michael Cox, and all I needed was 1.7 points. He gave me 2.4, and I came out with the win. So, you know what? I'll take it, man. I'll take it. If I had played anyone else this week, I would have lost. But I played Anthony, and I came out with that win, and it just feels so good, man. I know it's only win number 2, but I feel like this is a comeback, man. I really do feel like it's a comeback. And shout out to Carl. Shout out to RotoWorld.com for, letting me know that, to put in Michael Cox. Maybe I should have played Peyton Hillis, but whatever. All I needed was 1.7 points. I got 2.4. I came out with the win. Thank you, RG3, for running like a maniac, for scoring 26 points. All Anthony's players, they were all mediocre. The best player on this team was the Seattle Seahawks defense with 11. So fortunately for me, Tom Brady sucked. Trent Richardson sucked. Everyone pretty much sucked on Anthony's team, and the best players were left on the bench. Thank you for not playing CJ2K. Thank you so much for not playing CJ2K. Otherwise, I would have lost. Now let's get up into the next matchup. It was Fuck City 2K13 versus the Fifth Legislation. This is what I said would be the matchup of the week, or one of the matchups of the week last week. Unfortunately, all of Legends players, they came up a bit short. The main guys, the people that he was waiting on, Arian Foster got injured, so he only scored 1.1 points. Peter Garcon, he only scored 5 points. Victor Cruz, 5 points. It wasn't too good for him. Maybe you should have played the Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, maybe you should have played the Aaron Rodgers, bro. I know that you've been riding with this Phillip Rivers dude, and he's been, doing pretty well. But I mean, come on, man, it's Aaron Rodgers, man. You gotta trust that dude, all right? So, that was kind of a fail, but not really worthy of the fail of the week. Matt is Matt right now, and he got Gronk back, and the dude is a fucking juggernaut. I mean, yeah, man. Congrats, Matt, on this win. I thought that Matt would take over with the number 1 spot, but unfortunately, I think that, since his head-to-head matchup with Pete, he actually lost, so that's why he's still number 2. All right, let's get into the next matchup of the week. It was Jay Floon versus Calgary Crop Dusters. It was Jason versus Chris, and whoa! I thought last week, if you tuned to the report last week, I said that Chris was gonna win, easily, hands down. But Jason made some moves. He put in Ryan Matthews, and boy, did it pay off. Every single person that had to do well did well for fucking Jason. Russell Wilson with 20 points. Ryan Matthews with 17. Fred Jackson with 14. Motherfucking Calvin Johnson went insane with 27 points. And even fucking the Patriots defense with 12 points, man. That was fucking crazy. Oh my god, Jason. Yeah, dude, that was the fucking surprise, victory of the week. You totally went off, man. Congratulations on the win, because I seriously thought that you had 0 chances of winning it. Maybe you had a very slim chance, but I didn't think that you were actually going to come out with the victory. So congratulations on that, and for that, I had to give you the Genius of the Week, because you put in Ryan Matthews, and that put you over the edge. That gave you the win. We got to give props to Carl for, helping us out there. We got to give props to Pete for helping us out there. Yeah. But, Jason, you get the Genius of the Week, and, I guess Carl and I guess Pete, you can get 0.25, quarter Genius of the Week as well. All right. Unfortunately for Chris, I don't know what you were doing or what you were thinking, putting in Nick Foles, but the dude decided to play Nick Foles, and obviously that dude got injured, and the dude only got 5.7 points, and he didn't play Andrew Luck. So I don't know what he was thinking. So, Yeah, he is definitely a nominee for, Fail of the Week. Actually, let's talk about the nominations for Fail of the Week. I actually have the actual Fail of the Week in this envelope right here. The text is actually mirrored because I'm using the front-facing camera, so I apologize about that. Deal with it. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the nominees for Fail of the Week. The nominees for Fail of the Week are Chris Christopher with Nick Foles over Andrew Luck. And then we have Chris Christopher with Nick Foles over Andrew Luck. And then we also have another nominee of Chris Christopher with Nick Foles over Andrew Luck. And our last nominee is Chris Christopher with Nick Foles over Andrew Luck. All right, so let's open up this ballot and let's see who's win. I don't know who's gonna win. I really don't know who's gonna win. Let's just check it out. Let's unveil this. Let's unveil this right here. It's gonna be a mirrored image, but it says Chris Christopher with the Fail of the Week. Right here, you can see Chris Christopher Fail of the Week. It's a mirrored image, but you guys get the gist of it. Like, come on, dude. Like, how you gonna play Nick Foles, man? Like, I don't even understand that. Nick Foles, oh man, I don't even know. You could have played Eli Manning and done better. You could have played Alex Smith and done better. I really don't know what you were thinking, man. And fortunately, even if you had put in Andrew Luck, you still wouldn't have won because Blair Walsh got one extra point, and that was enough to have Jason beat you regardless if you had put in Luck or not. But, I mean, come on, dude. Nick Foles over Andrew Luck? Come on, man. Come on. What is that? All right, now let's talk about the next matchup of the week. And talking about that, we got to cue this. Nick Foles over Andrew Luck. It deserves one of these. No, it deserves one more of those. Nick Foles over Andrew Luck. Come on, dude. All right, so let's go up into the next matchup of the week. It was Stay Ugly versus Puss Beaters. It was Gel versus Carl. And what a perfect matchup, because this happened, as soon as the trade happened. If you guys aren't aware of the trade, if you guys don't remember, Gel gave up Matt Forte and Antonio Brown for Tony Romo. And honestly, that was one of the worst trades. I mean, come on, dude. Carl simply went off. Carl would have been the Fail of the Week without a doubt if he had lost his match, because he put in Jay Cutler and that dude had negative .88 points and he went out with an injury. But every single person on Carl's team went off. We have Frank Gore, 22 points. Doug Martin got injured, so he got 5. But we got AJ Green with 21 points. We got V Jackson with 25 points. We got Matt Forte with 28 points. And we even got Heath Miller scoring a touchdown. Fuck that dude, man. But I mean, he scored a touchdown. So Carl went crazy this week. He had 121 points. I mean, he had Matt Forte. That was crazy, man. How does it feel, Gel, that when you trade Matt Forte, he has the best performance of the whole entire season? He scores 3 touchdowns. I mean, you gotta be hurting. That has to hurt your pride a little bit. And because of that trade, man, we gotta give you this. Come on, Gel. I mean, what was that, man? I mean, what was that, man? That was a terrible trade, man. Like, that's... I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. And everyone on Gel's team totally underperformed. We had Tony Romo, the guy he traded for, only scoring 12.8 points. Shady McCoy really sucked, only 8 points. Giovanni Bernard, barely any points. The best dude on his team was Demaryius Thomas, but everyone else was a bit lackluster. He picked up Harry Douglas, but he didn't play him. I mean, come on, Gel. You're picking up these people. You should play him, man. Definitely over that Ogbanyaya. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Ogbanyaya? I don't even know. You should have definitely played him over that guy, man. Yeah. So let's go over into my favorite matchup of the week, all right? My favorite matchup of the week. We had Funk Nasty versus I Did You a Favre. We had Peter versus David. And, man, we had the whole, Beat Pete campaign. And, yes, motherfucking David did it. Yes, I'm so happy about this shit. He actually did it, man. I was really, really worried, though, in the beginning, though, because it didn't seem like he had enough points or enough of a point advantage over Pete. Cam Newton only scored 14, and this week, actually, Matt Ryan went off, and he scored about 21 points. He also went with Antonio Gates instead of Jordan Cameron, and Antonio Gates was a bit abysmal, and Jordan Cameron, he does what Jordan Cameron does. And I don't understand why he didn't play him that week, so I was a bit worried, but... fortunately enough, there was this dude. His name was Eric Decker. Eric Decker right there. Thank you so much for going off. 150 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown, 21 points. Simply went bananas. And David, good move on putting in the Chargers defense. 15 points. That was excellent. In terms of Pete, his team, he didn't have Drew Brees this week, so he went Mike Glennon. He did a good job of getting 17 points. Not too bad. And then he also, he had Jermichael Finley, who actually did pretty well, but prior to his, I don't know what he did. He got a concussion or something like that? I think he got a concussion. Yeah, so he did well with that, but then he had a bunch of duds. And one of the biggest duds was Adrian Peterson. That game was simply a terrible on Monday. I don't even know what happened. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so Pete... He actually came out with the loss, and what's that behind me? Oh, what's this? Yes, we had to bring it back. I mean, it's his first loss of the season, but the dude was salty. I mean, come on, Pete. It's only one loss. I mean, you're still number one, but we gotta hit you with the salt, man. The dude was fucking salty. You're gonna have to take it. You're not undefeated. Take that. We hate you, Pete. I mean, we don't really hate you, but in the league, we hate you. Yes, man. This is the fucking PJ Salt. We had to bring it back. Stay salty, Pete, and I hope you lose again this week, alright? I really do, man. Alright, enough of that. Enough of trolling Pete or whatever. He's a cool dude. He's a nice guy, but you know what I mean. That dude was salty, man. The dude was extra salty, man. He's so worried about AP. That's his boy, man. He's super salty. Yeah. Yeah, take that, Pete. Take that. Alright, yeah. So thank you, David, for taking down Pete. That was fucking awesome. I'm gonna give my hands off to you. Thank you so much for beating Pete. That was the best. I would have taken that win over a win, for myself, to be honest with you, because that's the fucking best, man. That's the fucking best. Yes. It's all bias here, totally biased, we don't like Pete, in terms of this league. Alright, now let's get up into the next matchups of the week. We'll begin it we'll begin where we left off with last week. We begin it with Pete versus Stay Ugly. Pete is back in full force. He got Drew Brees back. He got Jimmy Graham back this week. But, however, Jimmy Graham might not play. He still got that foot injury, and there is a slight chance that DeMarco Murray might not play as well. So we gotta stay tuned for the news, and we'll see what happens. The injury reports, we'll see what happens. And then Gel, he's playing Harry Douglas this week. He's going with Giovanni Bernard. Also, a crazy thing that Gel is doing, he's going with Roy Halou. I guess he's writing off the fact that he scored 3 touchdowns last week. I don't know if he will replicate that this week, but I mean, Gel has to do what Gel has to do, because he has a lot of people on bye. He has Darius Heyward-Bay on bye. Actually, he just picked him off the waiver wire. He has Andre Johnson on bye. But then he also picked up the Jordan Reed, which is a fantastic pickup. I knew that motherfucker was going to pick him up. Awesome. In terms of this matchup, man, I really want you to win, Gel. Like, I really hope Giovanni Bernard scores like 9 touchdowns or something like that. Or Demaryius Thomas goes off. Or Jordan Reed goes off. I really hope so, because I don't want to see Pete win again, you know what I mean? We don't want to see Pete win again. So hopefully, Gel, that you can defeat Pete. Alright, let's go up into the next matchup. We have Puss Beaters versus Jay Flute Tycoon. Jason, he picked up a lot of people. He picked up Jared Cook and whatnot. His team is looking pretty solid right now. I mean, there is a lot of... After last week's performance, I will never doubt Jason again. I doubted him early this season. I doubted him again when he got the injuries. But he's gonna shut me up completely, I played that music. Don't call it a comeback. Don't fucking call it a comeback, man. This dude is still in it. Don't underestimate Jason. I've done it twice, and I've had to eat my words, man. Shit. But Carl's team is looking pretty beast. He picked up Mike James since Doug Martin got injured. He putting in Antonio Brown, because I think Carl has a bunch of buys this week as well. Who does he have on buy? He got Matt Forte on buy. Doug Martin is dead. And yeah, I guess he's running with... Who is he running with? I guess he's running with Matt Stafford this week. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. Good luck to the both of you. And let's go on to the next matchup. We have Diplomats versus the Fifth Legislation. Anthony has a bunch of buys. He has Trent Richardson on buy. He has Vincent Brown on buy. He has Justin Tucker on buy. And he still hasn't made any moves yet, so I hope that you actually do some moves. Hope you watch the report and, get clarified on all this shit, and hope you put in some new people. You can't even put in Chris Johnson. He's on buy as well. And in terms of Ledge, his team is looking, pretty good right now. Fortunately, Arian Foster's on bye, so hopefully he can get better for next week. We'll see what happens with this matchup. And, he is playing Aaron Rodgers, thankfully. Is he playing Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, he is playing Aaron Rodgers. I mean, since, Phillip Rivers is on bye. So let's go into the next matchup. We got Fuck City versus Calgary Crop Dusters. My goodness, it's going to be pretty tough for Chris this week. He has a couple of buys. He had to put in Brandon LaFell. He had to go with the Panthers defense, and I think that he also has another person. Is he going to go with Tolbert? He also has Tolbert, so we'll see if he decides to play him or not. I mean, it's a risky move playing a bunch of people on Thursday, but, we'll see what happens. And then we got, Matt, his fucking team is fucking crazy right now. It's going to be pretty tough for, Chris to beat him. Let's see what he can do. Matt is Matt, but, we'll see what happens. By the way, the dope show last night of Montreal, Kevin Barnes, that dude is fucking nuts. Shout out to Laura, shout out to Indy, etc. Shout out to all that shit. And then we got myself versus I Did You a Favre. Man, I got a lot of buys this week. I'm running with Team San Francisco. I'm running with Anquan Bolden. I'm running with Vernon Davis. I'm running with San Francisco 49ers D. It's going to be pretty tough for me to beat David this week, but I really hope that I can because, thank you, David, for beating Pete, but you know what? I need to beat you now. Videos can only be 15 minutes long when I upload them, so I need to cut that short. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's the Base Fantasy Report Week 7 edition, and I'll see you next week, all right? Peace, 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 peace.